Hey, what's up guys? Travis Peters here. This video is going to be brought to you by the Increase Challenge. I need you to head over to the increasechallenge.com. Right now it's absolutely free and I'm going to give you 5 days of financial increase coaching with me. We're going to locate and eliminate all the hidden poverty mindsets that have been keeping you broke or keeping you average or keeping you middle class for far too long. If you've been struggling financially or if you haven't increased financially in the last 90 days or so, there's a good chance you have a hidden poverty mindset that is keeping you stuck. So head over to the increasechallenge.com, come hang out with me. We're going to fix that so you can start creating and earning the wealth and income, peace and prosperity that God has for you. All right, so in today's episode, we're going to be covering my top 4 financial increase scriptures. And to be honest with you, I couldn't really just pick 4. I don't even know why I use that number. I've got a bunch. We're just going to cover some of them, and then I'll probably do a part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5 of this because there's just so many, and God's so good. And we're just going to dive into some of them today and how to use and apply them in real life. So let's start with a super obvious and direct one, which is Psalms 115:14. And it just says, "May the Lord give you increase, more and more, you and your children." What a great promise. What a great truth that we can activate and have in our life. May the Lord give you increase. So we know that increase comes from the Lord because he's the giver of increase. More and more. So this is continual. You know, we talk about, if you've been in my courses or my other videos or the podcast, you hear about the people who come in, send me little hater comments and little hater emails. It talks about how I'm being greedy and selfish because I want more, and I should just be grateful for what I have, and that's the mark of a true Christian who's whatever, all that junk. But right here it literally says, "May the Lord your God give you increase more and more." More and more. That's continual. That's forever. It's for you and your kids. And then they can say that to their kids. It's continual increase. May the Lord give you increase more and more. So it's not wrong to want more. I've had a kid. I wanted more kids. So we made more. Is that wrong? No, it's just increase. I've made money. Guess what? I want to make more money. Hey, I've given away a lot of money. Guess what? I want to give away a whole lot more. Is that wrong? No. It's increase. That's it. And God's going to give it to you. Proverbs 3, verses 9 and 10. Honor the Lord with your wealth. This instruction has changed my life. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your income. Some translations say first fruits of all your increase. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing and your vats will brim over with new wine. The way I kind of look at this is, I believe it's the New King James Version that says, when you honor the Lord with your wealth and the first fruits of your income or your increase, it says he will fill your barns with plenty and your vats will overflow with new wine. The way I look at that is, when I honor God with my wealth, with my money, my income, my increase, I'm just giving him weight. If you look that word up in the original context, that word honor means let him weigh in on what you do with it. So God, I'll let you weigh in on what to do with my money. I'm going to honor you with it. I'm going to give you 10% back. I'm going to give and sow where you tell me to. And then I'm going to tithe to my local church. I honor God with my money. I ask him what to do with it. I let him weigh in on it. And then it says, then he will fill your barns with plenty. Couple cool things. He's going to fill the barns. That takes the pressure off you. You just be obedient to honor him with your wealth, and then it's up to him to fill your barns with plenty. I actually used the scripture when I was contemplating leaving my day job back in 2014 to pursue being a full-time entrepreneur. Remember, it was a Sunday morning. I was sitting on my back porch, warm days in May, I believe, and I was praying. I was like, God, I really want to leave my day job. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't like it. And he showed me the scripture, which I already read, 800 times before. But this time that word, he, jumped out at me so strongly. He was just saying, God, or Travis, you qualify. You honor me with your wealth. I'll fill your barns with plenty. I'll fill your storage places with plenty. One translation says. Storage place, that's your savings account today, right? That's your bank account today. Storing up that money for later use. He said, hey, just honor me. You qualify. Honor me with the wealth. I'll fill it with plenty. And then once I had that scripture, I had peace, and I was like, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of my day job. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I quit, and I never looked back, and God has always filled me with plenty. I remember in that particular scenario, when I quit my day job, we had our biggest month ever with my side business. We made $9,000 that month. And I was just like, let's roll, let's go, baby. But it was because of this scripture. The scripture gave me the permission to leave my day job, basically. I had peace when I read it. I knew what to do, and I had that boldness and that confidence knowing I could stand on this scripture whenever it came to money stuff. All right, and another fun way to look at this, verse 10, where it says, your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink wine. But a friend of mine pointed out, I was like, maybe that part, the barns being filled with plenty, that's like your money and stuff you need and things like that. But what if your vat's brimming over with new wine? Kind of just means, and you'll also have the extra stuff, like the fun stuff, like the toys and the things, and you don't need wine to live. But, here maybe it's just representing like, yeah, your vats are going to overflow. All your needs are going to be met with plenty left over. And then, hey, all the other stuff you're into, cool, we'll get blessed there too. Maybe something like that. It's a cool thought, right? Let's go on. Deuteronomy 28, verse 11. The Lord will grant you abundant prosperity. Let me context this. If you go back to the beginning of Deuteronomy 28, it talks about all the blessings that can come upon you and overtake you if you obey the voice of the Lord. So if you obey the voice of the Lord, he will grant you abundant prosperity. It goes on to say, in the fruit of your womb, your kids, the young of your livestock, and the crops of your ground. Back then, that's how they made money. That was their business. That was their means of accumulating. They had livestock that they would, either kill and sell for the meat, or if it was like a cow, you could milk it, sell the milk, and then crops of your ground. Just like a farmer, grow crops, and then you go to the market and sell those crops and get money for it. So he's basically saying, I'm going to grant you abundant prosperity in your business, in the way that you are accumulating money right now. I'm going to bless that. Another translation says, he shall make you have a surplus of prosperity. That's pretty cool. Mark 4:28 is interesting. This is kind of be like a little half bonus scripture, because it talks about how increase comes. So I wanted to bring this out here. Right before this in Mark 4, it's talking about sowing seed and what that looks like. And so go check that out and how it can produce up to a 30, 60, or 100-fold return. Now, it goes on to say in verse 4:28, the earth by itself, this is how it produces. First the blade, so it's talking about literally sowing a seed. First the blade, meaning the thing starts to sprout. Then the ear, and then the full grain in the ear. And once the harvest is ready, the reaper comes out, cuts it, and pulls in his harvest. So basically what's that saying is like, that's how increase comes. If we sow a financial seed, tomorrow or 10 minutes later, you typically don't have the harvest on that seed. It doesn't come instantly. It comes through progression. First, a little bit pops up. You might get a little bit of increase here and there, and then a medium amount, and then the harvest is there. So it comes through progression. There's going to be some time to this. It's not always long. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's not. Let's just get a lot of seed in the ground so every single day we have harvest coming in. That's how I look at it. But I just want you to understand, increase comes through that law of progression. Then let's look at Galatians 6, 7, and 9. And it says, this is the Amplified, I'm reading it from my iPad right here. Don't be deceived, deluded, or misled. God will not allow himself to be mocked. For whatever a man sows, that is what he will reap. And let us not lose heart and grow weary while acting nobly and doing good. For in due time and at the appointed season, we will reap, if we do not loosen and relax our courage or faint. So basically, when you're sowing seed, whether that's money, whether that's time, effort, energy, blessing somebody else, when you're sowing seed, he said, don't grow weary in doing this. Like, there are times where maybe it doesn't feel like anything's happening. Don't grow weary. Just keep doing it. You will reap a harvest if you don't relax your courage. Interesting way to put it. Don't loosen and relax your courage and faint. Stay strong. Don't grow weary in doing good. Keep it up. Continue on. Keep sowing seed. You'll reap. I promise. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be huge. God won't be mocked. He won't be made fun of. It will happen. So those are my top scriptures for increase. I say they're my top ones. They're just kind of ones I was thinking on. I'll make more of these because there's a lot of other scriptures I want to cover with you guys. But go back, listen to this again. Get it in you. Psalms 115:14. May the Lord give you increase more and more, you and your children. Deuteronomy 28. The Lord's going to grant you a surplus of prosperity. Proverbs 3:9 and 10. Honor God with your wealth and the first fruits of all your increase, and He will fill your barns with plenty, and your vats will overflow. And then Mark 4:28. Increase comes through progression. There's a progressive thing to it. And then Galatians 6:7 and 9. God's not going to be mocked. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. You're sowing good stuff. I know you. You're sowing good stuff. You're a generous person. That means great blessing, great harvest is on the way. Just don't loosen or relax your courage. Don't faint. Don't quit. Stay in the game. Continue on. Increase is on the way. I'll see you guys over at theincreasechallenge.com. If you haven't liked or subscribed to this stuff yet, what are you waiting for? I put content out like this all the time. I got tons of free stuff. I got tons of high-level trainings as well. You want to be a part of it. You don't want to miss out on all the increase God has for you. Love you guys. See you in the next one.